All right. We got another exciting episode. Welcome all our listeners, all our members, and all our constituents. We have another exciting episode of the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts. My name is Sosa, and as always, my partner in crime, my man IJUST, Winston McIntosh.
Today's Sos, man, we got a very special guest. We got Mr. AJ Simmons. He's the owner and the founder, the CEO of Clean Biz Network. And man, his brother's digital footprint on YouTube, literally, that's how I found him on YouTube, probably like 5-6 years ago. Without any further delay, we have Mr. AJ Simmons.
What up? What up? What's up, fellas? Appreciate y'all for having me on, bro.
What's going on, AJ? Nice to meet you, my friend. Nice to meet you.
You too, well, Mr. Sosa and Winston as well. So Winston, you go by IJUST or
Yes. It's I got, like 99 attributes, man. As you go through different stages of life. It's all inclusive, man. Like my wife liked to say, I got a lot of different personalities. So you know what I'm saying?
Depending where you met him in life.
Depends on where you met me in life. That's right, man. So AJ, we just gonna start off with the lob question, man. I know like a lot of people on YouTube know who you are. We want to introduce you to our special group, man. They're our Facebook group, the Entrepreneur Chamber. So just tell our group or in our constituents and friends and viewers on YouTube a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm AJ Simmons, founder of the Clean Biz Network. It's basically turned into more of a software company now. We have a mobile app as well as the website. And basically what it is a social network for the cleaning industry. So it's that first. And then in addition to it being a social network, it has bidding calculators, it has proposal generators, it has a lead service to help you get customers. We have supplies available. We got coaching call. You name it, anything, janitorial, cleaning, all of that. We provide it for you to help you start and grow your cleaning company. And that's my background. I started off commercial cleaning for other owners, and then I bought a cleaning franchise. And then actually I bought 2 cleaning franchises. After the second one, I realized, you know what, it's cool and all. I got a little money, but I want to pivot and own my own, right? I wanted to kind of skip the middleman. Nothing wrong with getting that started and doing it that way, but I decided I wanted, the whole pot. And so I went that route and decided to start Clean Biz Network to help other people to do the same if they wanted to, or just help them with their franchise. But that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Okay, man, so AJ, what incentivized you, or what made you want to go with the cleaning industry versus when you started businesses, other type of businesses?
Yeah, good question. So it was that franchise opportunity. So I'm sure, like many of us, right, I got a background of my own that I'm not so proud about, right? I'm from a part of town, right? But once I got out of that situation, I knew that I had to put my money into something legit. And I didn't know anything else because there was this guy named Pops I was working for. He had a cleaning franchise with Jenny King, and he had me and my boy, and with me and 2 of my homeboys working for him. He wrote us checks, and I was like, damn, that's a black man with his own business that actually can write us some paychecks. I'm like, wait a minute. Right. So I asked, I'm like, well, how you do that? And do I got to go to school for this? Because I knew I wasn't about to go to school because I barely went to high school. So I knew I wasn't going to college, right? So, and when he told me, like, no, you just buy into it. And I was like, bet. And then when I looked into it and I saw they'll guarantee you a certain amount of money that you can make every month, I was like, oh, damn, you can't lose with this. Because it's like, everything else, if I decide to put my money in, it's like, ain't no guarantee I'm gonna get it back. And when you come from nothing, you want to hold on to that little bit of money you finally get, right? So that tax return come in, you want to spend it wisely, you know what I mean? So that was pretty much how I got started. I said, I'm gonna put my money into something that I know I can get my money back. And I just invested into a cleaning franchise and just kind of went from there.
Okay. Hey AJ, what were the you said that you started? Because it's funny, I started I own a clean company as well. I started with a franchise. What were the if you don't mind, what were the 2 friends? You said you did 2. Yep. What were the 2?
Yep, actually, and I guess technically it's 3. So I started with Coverall. That was 19. Yep, 19 when I bought that one. I had it for about 3 years. I was trash though. Like I ain't never clean. You know what I mean? I used to be skipping nights sometimes. I sweep crumbs under the rug, not mop. I mean, you name it. I just had me and my homeboy just run through there, knock it out, and go to the club. And I'm like, we won't really
grabbing trash. That's it.
Exactly. Grab trash and go. I'm telling you. So, but then, after I lost that contract, I really ain't lose it. I sold a few contracts that I had and got out of it because I saw that I was losing all my contracts. But so I said, you know what? As I started to get old, I started to grow and realize, because I got out of it bitter, thinking, it was their fault I was losing my contracts. But as I got older, I started to realize, you know what? Really, it was just my fault. I was just fucking up. Like, I won't do it. My bad. Y'all don't cuss over here, do you? My bad.
No, you good. Yeah, man.
Okay, bad. Okay. But yeah, I was like, I was fucking it up. Yeah, I'm messing it all up. And so I started getting introduced to these self-help books and audio tapes and all of that type of stuff where they talk about positive thinking and just basically taking accountability for your own actions and realize that it's up to you ultimately in this life. So once I started to do, I said, you know what, I'm gonna invest in another one. And that's when first I bought into Jenny King, but I was only in there for like a week because I bought through another franchise owner. But when the Jenny King found out that the franchise, she had this contract she was about to close, I think it was like $4,000 a month. When they found out she was selling it, they changed their mind and took that contract back from her. Luckily for me, I was wise enough to write in our sales agreement that if for whatever reason they don't let me keep this contract, I can get my money back. So she was nice enough to actually give me my money back. So I won't with Jenny King no more. And then finally, I bought it with Jan Pro. And so Jan Pro was the one where I really took off at. I wrote a book about the franchise. I won the Franchise Owner of the Year Honorable Mention Award in 2015. And so basically what the honorable mention means, because somebody might say, well, why you ain't win the Franchise Owner of the Year? Well, I was only in there 1 year after I bought it.
Let's get that clear.
You know what I mean? And what it does mean I was top 10 out of all of their 10,000 plus franchise owners all over the world. So, but those were the two, though. Those were the main two, Coverall and Jan Pro. But I do forget sometimes that I was with Jenny King for like a week too.
Yeah, but you know what? That's pretty dope because actually my first cleaning business was with Jan Pro as well.
Okay.
So I know
we all have that in common, man.
We all have
Jan Pro.
But I think
alumni.
But I think the dopest thing that you said was two things. One, how you took accountability for your own, because man, a lot of people do that. I did that at first. You lose a contract, man, it's not my fault, it's their fault. But you're right. It's like the more, and I did the same thing. My pivot was kind of similar to yours. I started getting health books. I started realizing I'm self-employed. I'm not an owner. I started going to people, going to mentors, things like that. And I think one of the dopest things that you said was that when you did the Janny King contract, you wrote in there that if they take it for some reason, you get your money back, which is very smart. Kudos to you. And secondly, just just the fact that you saw that, and you kind of learn from your past mistakes, and you applied it to your new thing all the way to the point where you're honorable mention, and that's a big deal. Honorable mention with all them friends, that's a big deal.
Appreciate that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, so moving forward, man. I know you have the Clean Biz Network. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, man. So, it all really started from my YouTube channel, right? So as I was building the Jan Pro franchise, and I think that probably went into them selecting me as well for that Franchise Owner of the Year, right? Because they saw that I had that following and they kind of wanted to, I was helping them get more people to buy in with Jan Pro because they had me up there talking about it. And at the time I was really talking positive about it too. Over the years, I kind of, switched it a little bit, but yeah, so I think they helped too. But anyway, it all started with my YouTube channel, right? And people just asking questions like, AJ, can you mentor me? Can you help me? And, back in the day when I didn't have as much of a following on YouTube, I would literally have people just call my phone, right? But over time, I started to grow and it was like, well, you know what? Well, I'll put a course together, right? And then everybody can just buy the course and then we'll do once a week or once a month group coaching call and everybody can ask me any questions, right? It started there. Then it was like, well, wait a minute. You need some supplies, right? And I saw the way that these franchises were selling these starter kits. And I said, hell, I can get a starter kit. I know how to, and I can find a supplier and ship you your starter equipment to you because a lot of people didn't know. So I started selling starter kits. Then it was like, all right, well, AJ, how do you bid? We don't know how to price. So then I was like, damn, I know how to, you know what I mean? I know how to put together a little program. Good. Luckily for me, I was always good with computers. You know what I mean? And so I put together a bidding calculator so one thing too, I didn't mention yet was I actually, after I won that Franchise Owner of the Year award and all that and grew with Jan Pro, I was offered a job with Jan Pro as well. So they hired me to be operations manager in Florida, which is where I live now. They brought me here.
Wow.
So my company was running up in Virginia. I was running that passively while I was in Florida being operations manager for them as well. So when they hired me on,
wow,
that's when I really, really learned the game. And that's also when I really, really learned I had to get out. You know what I mean? And start my own thing.
Right.
When I saw their
You're like, I could do this independently.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Well, like you were seeing their bidding calculator, right?
Yeah, and I was like, I know I could do this. You know what I mean? I can, you know what I mean? So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So, and I saw their bidding calculators and everybody asked me how to bid. So I made a bidding calculator, made it into a mobile app with just Googling how to build an app, right? And found an app builder website. I'll say it's Appy Pie is what I used at first. You know what I mean? And I just started with that and built my own app. And then, so I had the course, I had the starter kit, I had the bidding calculator. And then I was like, well, damn, and now I got to help them get customers because the franchise will get you customers. So then I had this idea. It was somebody, shout out to my boy Yak Gak, who does all my videos for me. He hired a cold caller overseas and they would just set bidding appointments for him. And I was like, damn, how did people do that? So then I seen this other post in this other janitorial group, and the guy had literally posted the same thing and was like, well, yeah, all you got to do is pay these people, you know, $5-6 an hour, and they can cold call for you, set appointments. I was like, bam, I think I figured it out. So I went back to my Facebook group, which Clean Biz Network used to be a Facebook group. And I asked them, I said, hey, if I could get you an appointment set, we called it leads. If I can get you a lead, would you pay me $100 for it? And they was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. So I went and built a quick web page right quick, put a payment processor on there, put it out there and say, hey, here it is. If you want to buy leads, here you go. $500 worth of sales, 5 leads sold. I had no cold callers. So, but the thing was, I told them, give me 30 business days and we'll get you an appointment. So I knew in 30 days, I better hire some people and get some appointments, or I got to give them their money back. So I found some people, got some appointments, and sent those appointments over. I followed up with the first clients that we sold those to. I said, hey, was those appointments legit? Because I didn't know, right? It was like, we literally just found them. You know what I mean? I didn't go there and anything. And so I called those first people that bought it. I was like, hey, was they legit? He's like, yeah. We actually, you know what I mean? They actually let us walk through. I was like, oh, shit. I'm up to something. You know what I mean? So
I'm on to something.
Yeah. So now we had the leads, we had the calculator, we had the all of that, right? And so that's when I said, all right, time to go get an LLC and actually make this Clean Biz Network thing a thing. So the leads really took it to the next level. You know what I mean? And so that's what Clean Biz Network is in a whole. It's simply me. You know, it started off with just me just simply trying to help people. And it's like, wherever I see a problem within the industry, I'm gonna provide a solution for it, because I'm not the type of person I'm just gonna sit here and say, hey, don't buy no franchise, they trash. But it's like, okay, well, AJ, well, then what do I do? I'm not gonna tell you about the problem and not how the solution. So that's pretty much what Clean Biz Network is, a solution to anything for any cleaning entrepreneur. I mean, I got you.
Yeah, I remember even watching some of the videos where you were part of the Clean Biz Network was how to do and conduct the walkthrough. You know, you'd be surprised that how the word how, or even, you know, we may know what we want to do, why we want to do it, where we want to do it, you know, what we want to do, but it's always the how to do it is what eludes a lot of people. And I think with you providing the how to and answering that question for them and put it all in one package, I think that was literally genius, bro.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that for sure.
And let me ask you a question, AJ, real quick. So you said that you were good with computers, but you did the app yourself. So do you think that someone who's not good in computers could have made that app, or, you know, could have done that?
Well, I guess it would depend on how good they are with computers, right? Because you got I'm not good with computers type of person where they ain't even set up an email address before, right? Then you got the type of person where it's like, well, they got an email, they're on Facebook every day, they know how to Google. Like, if you know how to Google and you know how to drag a mouse and click some things, you can do it. It's literally, it's really drag and drop on appypie.com. So that's what I use, and anybody can do it. I think the hard part is not building that app. I think the real hard part is having the following and the people to want the app. You know what I mean? Like anybody can get that great app idea, but can you actually sell it? Can you actually market it and get people on the app?
That's dope. And it was, you had another question because it's so no, it's great. Like, listen, this is interesting to me. Now when you hired people overseas and they're cold calling, so they're just cold calling any company, or they're just cold calling companies, or are you giving, or like how do they know who to even call for the leads?
We start off with Google, and I would literally type in, all right, dentist offices in whatever city the person bought in, because they would fill out the application, tell me where they were located, right? And so when I would do that, that's the first VA that I hired to be my cold caller. He probably went a week with no appointment set. And so then I'm like kind of getting on, I'm like, all right, now I'm not a professional cold caller, but I know if you calling this many businesses, because there's a Google spreadsheet, so I can see, you know what I mean? Like I can see all these businesses you calling, like you must be trash. So then he kind of got on me, and a good thing, even though, like, it's a good thing that I'm always listening, not just, trying to defend myself, right? And so what he said back to me when I kind of get on him, he was like, well, we need better leads. Like you don't have a database or something that you can get it from, because another company I worked for, they had a database where you can just get it. And I was like, well, no, but if you got any recommendations, then let me know. You know what I mean? So he didn't, but he just made my brain think. So I went and researched and researched, and I found a website that I actually could pull a whole database of every business in the country, right? So it's called, I don't put this out here. I'll put this out here, right?
Give us some game, y'all. About to give us some game, y'all.
Right? So this information is in one of my paid programs, but it's called Reference Solutions. All right. And I literally pull everything from that website, and then I just make a spreadsheet out of it, provide it to my callers, and then they cold call.
Man, there you go. That's a jewel right there. If everybody listen right there, his brother just dropped a jewel. He might charge us after this episode.
Nah.
Well, I know, AJ, man, even a part of you building the Clean Biz Network, you often highlight other people you've helped, up and coming franchise owners, or not even franchise owners. They could just be wanting, to go the independent route. And, they bought into the Clean Biz Network, got their package. Most of the testimonies are real. You bring them back, they talk about their success story. So what made you decide to tie all of that, like even in highlighting the success stories and broadening your audience on YouTube? What made you decide to bring that into the fold?
Yeah, so before I answer that, I gotta tackle that, because you said most of the testimonials are real. They all real now.
Yeah. My bad. That's right.
They all real. I ain't never paid for no testimony. You know what I mean? But I will say this now: whether they, if somebody say they make 50 grand a month, I take it like I ain't asking for no damn bank statements, right? I'm not like verifying it, but I take that. I feel like if I'm real, they should be real, right? But so that's what so it's like I do want to throw that out there, right? But as far other than that though, yeah, they all 100% real. Everybody that's coming on, I either invited them because they said some like good shit in the network, and I was like, oh, they know what they talking about. Hey, bro, you trying to do the interview? You know what I mean? And what made me kind of want it, or is another way too. So some people request, and it's like, if you request, yeah, come on. You know what I mean? As long as you don't get up here and try to clown me or something, try to flip the script on me like you ambushing me, but I don't care. Right. I mean, I'll let anybody come on, especially if you got a channel like a YouTube or something you're trying to build a following. Hell yeah, because I always wish somebody would have threw me the loop and, interview me that had a bigger platform than me. So that's why, like, I definitely do them. And now what made me think to do it was, I think I'm gonna give this credit to this person. I'm not sure for 100% if they was the one that made me think of it, but my guy CJ Woods, he was 22 years old when I met him at the time, doing like 60 grand a month with his cleaning business, which at that time was unheard of to me, especially for somebody so young.
Yeah.
And so
I remember that video, man, from your channel. I remember the cat. He's from North Carolina or something,
Yep.
right? Spanish brother.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Charlotte.
remember.
Yep. He was a
Yep.
beast. No, Salisbury actually, right by Charlotte. But yeah,
Mhm.
man, he was very good at like getting money online, internet marketing, all that type of stuff. And so I would always like be able to bounce ideas off of him. And I mean, back in the matter of fact, we did the masterclass together when I first like actually put together like a curriculum course, you know what I mean, structured.
Right.
And me and him partnered and did that together. And so I think one day he was like, "Hey, bro, we need some testimonials. Like you need to reach out." And the way my personality is set up, it's just I ain't never know how to. I can't just, hey, can you come say how great we are? Like maybe the lack of confidence type of thing or something. I don't know what it is, but I couldn't just do that. So I was like, well, how can I do it in a way where I'm helping them too? So that's when I was like, that's why if you watch the interview too, you'll see I'm mostly like asking about them, their story, and how like them if they the best person in the world. Because it's like if you happen to say, oh, it's because of Clean Biz Network I did this, or it's because of AJ. Great, yes, please, because it helped with the sales, right? Because you know what I mean, real people see other real people and their story sounds similar to theirs. Of course, they're going to buy in, but it's like I can't. I don't even want to ask you to do that. You know what I mean? So what I do is I just bring people on for the interview, and I just hope. You know what I mean? I hope.
Right. Because of your interaction, how you treat, how you move, and you hoping they want to say something.
Exactly.
Right, instead of you asking them to say, I got you.
Exactly.
Hey, listen,
and for
man,
the most part, it works out that way.
Yeah.
For all the members of the Entrepreneur Chamber and our Facebook group, I hope y'all got it clear right there. My man AJ said, listen, not most of the testimonies are real. All of the testimonies are real. And that's real right there, my brother. So, thanks for the edification, man.
Oh, for sure.
So, yes, sir. So, AJ, I know like I followed one video you did on YouTube where you had a convention. And you kind of brought the whole Clean Biz Network family together. If I'm not mistaken, it was down there in Florida where you was at, where you're at. Man, and I seen like you rented like an entire hotel. You know what I'm saying? You had guest speakers, you had people that were, featured in some of your videos. You had people that are doing, huge amounts of business per year. What led you to that idea? You want to speak about that? And it's like a two-part question. Do you plan on doing more events like that?
Okay, I'll answer the easy one first. We're definitely going to do one. So right now the plans are to do one every year, the CBN conference, so Clean Biz Network conference every year. This year we did it in April because I did launch it on my birthday, April 15th. And I had fun, but I don't think I'm gonna do that again because it was overwhelming too. I'm gonna have family come to town. It was a lot. But we definitely gonna do another one 2023. I gotta pick a date. And so that'll answer that question. Then the next part was what was the other question again? I'm sorry.
What kind of led you to even, because I'm just listening to everything you're saying, and it's like as you get these ideas, it's like one door opening or leading to another door. You know what I'm saying? So is that part of the logical thinking that leads you from one idea to the next? It's almost like you walking right into that idea, like, damn, what else can I bring into the fold to make this Clean Biz Network, the manifestation of it and the empire of it by just adding more ideas to it, so like what kind of led you to that idea of, bringing everybody together? What was the first part of the question?
I'll say the main thing is peer pressure, right? So everybody in Clean Biz Network, and again, I thought of this when it was just a Facebook group. It wasn't our own platform yet, but all of the original members in particular, like they kept pushing me, AJ, I want to meet everybody. We got to meet. And I'm like, that would be cool, but I didn't feel right. And see, back then, I felt uncomfortable. Like I already felt uncomfortable. I didn't know how to ask for money. I didn't understand the value that I was providing, so I didn't know how to put a price on it. Then it was like, well, damn, I should be able to provide this event for free to them. They already members. Why they got to pay again? I didn't understand the logic, right? So I had to grow as an entrepreneur and be comfortable with, you know what? It's a whole separate thing. Like when they bought into Clean Biz Network, they wasn't paying for events too. They were just paying for the, I mean, that part. But anyway, but they pushed me. They were like, no, we'll pay. We don't mind. I mean, like, we just want to meet up. We want to meet everybody in person. We want to meet you in person. So it was them. It was having a team around me. Shout out to Yak Yak again, who does my videos. And he started off as a Clean Biz Network member. He had a coaching call with me one time. And, you know, after having that call with him, I just had a heart-to-heart when I said, look, bro, I don't think you need a cleaning business. I think you need to go follow your drive, your passion with that media stuff, because like, and I mean, I said, I coach you for that if you want me to, bro, because you're already in here, but I don't think you should do that. I said, really, I'll give you your money back too. You know what I mean, but it just from what, because he was trying to do both things, and he had a day job at the time. So anyway, he ended up getting out of the cleaning business like I told him to.
Yeah, I got you.
He ended up, and then he ended up going into the media company, but he ended up still quitting his job. And he came back to me a few months later and was like, hey, bro, I want to, I mean, he basically pitched me on why I should have a podcast. So he talked me into getting a podcast. He ran it for me, always have. I don't even know how to set up a podcast for real. He do it all. And I just pay him a monthly retainer. And he been on my team ever since. Like anything, he with me. So him, and I mean, my wife, and I mean, talking to her, she wanted to do it and get a chance to meet the CBN family. And that was really it, just peer pressure. And then it's like my guy I just said, you know what I mean? Like how he basically is like everything leads to something else. You know what I mean? Like it's like a natural progression where, because again, I got to remember what my why was. I'm simply doing what the people want. You know what I mean? So it's just like, well, if this what y'all want, I mean, I'd much rather be sitting at home playing the game, have me a nice alcoholic beverage, right? Or something, or chilling with the family. I'm an introvert. I don't like to do too much. Right. But fuck it, this is what y'all want, and this is going to bring value. I'm in the position, it's my responsibility to provide it to you, and I'm gonna do my best, you know what I mean, to make it the best that I can provide. And so that's what I think I did, I mean, by putting that together.
Hey, man, and I definitely know you bring value, man. Definitely, even your channel on YouTube, it certainly brings value.
Thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome, man. And now, so what motivates you to kind of do this? I mean, because I've been following you on YouTube for about 4 years, probably a little bit longer than that now, about 5 going on 6 years now. And, you know, it's just like video after video, like, and it's more of the helping, man. Like, you know, what motivates you to want to help people and be so genuine without, like, you understand, like, yeah, the money will come, whatever, you know, but I mean, just a genuine wanting to help people and see them succeed. Like where do you get that from?
Yeah, I think it's just like growing up in poverty. Like my mission from the day one was always like, when I looked at like crime in the area and why schools was trash or why this or why that. And I always looked at it and I realized, man, it's because of the money. If we just had money, we wouldn't be trying to plot on how to go break in that store. You know what I mean? Or we wouldn't be trying to rob the next person that got it, right? If we just had money. So that when I figured that out at a young age, it was just like, bet, I'm gonna get it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna always figure out a way to get it. And then whenever I figure out how to get it, I'm telling everybody. You know what I mean? That was always my mentality. And I can't lie, like I definitely was disappointed early on when I started YouTube, because really, I just thought I was talking to my hood. You know what I mean, on YouTube, but right. No matter how many times I shared it on Facebook, they weren't watching it. But these strangers all around the world would catch it somehow, and they would gravitate towards it. And that's when it hit me, like, you know what, fuck it, I can't save everybody. I'm just going, whoever wants help, gonna get it because it's here. You know what I mean? But it's like, I think it was Nas I heard say, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink it. And that was what you know what I mean? That's what I kind of realized, like, okay, it's just gonna be a situation like that. And then as they start to see me elevate, they can't never say AJ ain't try to bring me with him, because it's right here, bro.
That's right.
Right there.
That's right. I ain't never try to put the information out there.
Now, AJ, do you have so do you still have that Facebook group, or your community is basically on YouTube, or where's the Clean Biz Network? Where's like the central hub that if people are listeners and everybody want to be a part of the Clean Biz Network, like where would they go?
Yeah, so I dissolved the Facebook group. It's gone. I actually deactivated my Facebook. It might be up to date because I was trying to get my ads account back, but Facebook play too much. I must have to take it back off and screw their ass. But anyway, it's completely self-hosted. So www.cleanbiznetwork.com is a real live standalone social media site. You can download the Clean Biz Network app as well. And but that's where we at. Ain't no Facebook groups.
Oh, it ain't no fake. So it's an actual you get on Google, you go www.cleanbiznetwork.com and boom, there you go.
And you in
All
there.
right,
Yep.
Hey,
That's
so
dope.
all the members of the Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group and YouTubers, you heard that from AJ, man, directly from himself. Just go to www.cleanbiznetwork.com and you get everything AJ Simmons. If you're looking to start a cleaning business, you want to go the independent route, you want to learn how to do walkthroughs and how to price your customers, certainly check this brother out. So AJ, I only got a couple more questions for you before I turn it over to my brethren, Mr. Sosa, for the people. So I'm gonna ask you, man, like what's some of the best business advice that you've received to date that you wouldn't mind sharing with our audience?
That was off top too. So all right, but I'll just say this. I'll say there's so many things, right? Over time, there's so many things, man. I guess I'll give you a few things that's coming to mind. So riches are in the niches. That's number one. And I'll give you an example. When I started on YouTube, and be clear, like I always wanted to be educator. So I always wanted to teach entrepreneurship and how to get it from the beginning.
Okay.
And I didn't know it was going to be a cleaning, but I knew it was going to be in something. And
Right.
so when I got on YouTube, I actually got on YouTube a little bit before I had that Champ Pro franchise. And I used to try things. I talked about law of attraction. I talked about just entrepreneurship in general. I talked about the barbershop that I had because I used to own 2 barbershops as well. But the video that got the most views was when I talked about this cleaning stuff. And so when it stuck, I rolled with it. And I tried, like I talked about real estate because I own rental property as well. But every time I talked about something else, it didn't hit. When I talked about cleaning, it hit. The views was up. And so that's when it hit me. I'm sticking in my niche, and I know a lot more. I know I can speak on other things, but nope, this what they want. I'm gonna stick with this niche and roll with it. And I know for a fact there's a lot of people on YouTube that have more subscribers than me. They've been doing it longer than me, but they probably ain't no probably about. I know because I bought some of their courses and they show their numbers. They ain't seen the money that I seen by staying in my niche. You see what I'm saying? So that's number one.
Right.
And then another thing too, I would say is to build a system. I know y'all hear that a lot, but I'm gonna try to break it down more. And when I say system, just systems are basically people and software, right? Getting those people in that software to do things for you so you don't have to do it. So for example, one of the softwares we use is JotForm. And so with my lead generation service, when they fill out an application, we put their name in this little automated system in the back end of JotForm. So when my cold caller sets an appointment for SOSA, for example, if my cold caller types in SOSA on our little back end, it'll automatically send him the appointment that we set for him without us having to physically go and email him every time we got a customer appointment for him. So that eliminates me having to do it.
You.
You see what I'm saying? And then also hiring people, you know what I mean? And you just got to think about like,
I got you.
Like Amazon, Jeff Bezos ain't fulfilling no orders. You know what I mean? So we just got to get to the mindset of building these systems, putting systems in place because we're the CEOs, we're the owners. We can't even afford. You got to get to the point where you realize you can't afford to clean. You messing up the whole business by cleaning. You got to have plan A, B, C, D to cover it if you can't get there, and get to the point where you got so many customers that you comfortable enough telling the customer, I apologize, we can't make it today. Not I'm gonna go clean it because ain't nobody to cover it. No, I apologize, we can't make it today. Can we come tomorrow and make it up for you or provide you with the credit on your invoice? But you got to get to the point where there's no such thing as you cleaning or doing whatever line of business you're in. You don't do the physical part of it because you do too busy doing the other executive level tasks. You know what I mean? Your company can allow you to do those tasks that aren't what executives do. You know what I mean? So that's like just a few things I would say.
That's actually the definition of owner. If you look in the 4 quadrants, the 4 quadrants of employee, boom, owner, entrepreneur,
investor.
Goes the owner that actually says he is a person who has a system,
There
You
you
know
go.
what I mean? That has a system that works for him, so he don't have to work or something
Right.
like that. But it is
Way to
basically
put it.
about systems. The number one thing that they say when you look in that quadrant. So that
For
was
sure.
dope. That was fire what you just said.
Appreciate that. And
Absolutely,
definitely
man.
trust too. I want to add that too. You trust people, though, because a lot of people, that's what holds them back. They be like, yeah, you say hire people, but like, I can't trust this person to do this, or they don't know how to do it. Only I know how to do it. No such thing. The same way that you learn how to do something, you can teach somebody else how to do it. I used to think I was the
Yeah.
only one that could, like, I was so scared that I don't even run my payroll now. And it took me forever to let that go because since I
That's
got
one of the
VAs,
last things you hold on to is that
you know what I
payroll.
mean? And it's like, she got to log into my PayPal and do all of
Mhm.
it. And I'm like, but you know what? I trust her. She's been with the company for a while now. And I know her. I know her family now and everything. Even though she way overseas, but I mean, it's like, you know what? Build the trust, because otherwise, well, what if I die? You know,
That's
what
right.
if I die? Or what
That's
if I
right.
get? There ain't no telling what that's for. We got to make sure the company can run even without me, and that's the
100%.
main
Me and my
goal.
wife have had that discussion a few times, without a doubt. You definitely got to trust people at the end of the day, because, like you said, if the more you're doing the work, the less the opportunity your company to grow. That's gonna be
Exactly.
less. That's gonna be less. It's because you can't do three things at once. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So the time that you taking there, you wasting time trying to get other business right there. So
There you
man,
go.
that was a jewel right there that you dropped.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. So for all the viewing audience, man, this brother is providing jewel after jewel. So if you're on the fence about starting your business, or you're just starting your business, you might want to rewind this back, get your pen, your pad, and take a note. And because that's all a part of the entrepreneurship, is taking notes and speaking to people and building your network. And those, whether they're younger than you or older than you, you could certainly learn from those individuals, man. So thank you so much for sharing that answer with our viewing audience. So yeah, AJ, one other thing, man. I know from time to time you post a video, man, about you and the family, and y'all might be on vacation somewhere or something, man. So how important is family as you're being an entrepreneur and having the support, of your wife, and, you have children, and, but you're also at the same time, trying to be out there making the money. So how important is having that family support to you as being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, for me, like, it's everything. That's one of the main reasons I do it for, right? So I always say I do it for the legacy, the generational wealth, and then also I do it for the world. The world part is what I was talking about earlier about, if I find a way to get it, I'm telling everybody, right? Because I want everybody to get out that poverty, like, you know what I mean? Because I assume you want to get out just like I wanted to, right? But the family part, that's the other part of it, right? And I always just try to remind myself, like, don't get so caught up in the work, because it's like, okay, you hustling to get the money, but don't forget, like, the money isn't the goal. It's the things that the money can get you, which is the time with your family, the vacations, the freedom to just sit here and do nothing for a day, right? Or anything, you know what I mean? So I definitely think that the family part is most important. And I'll say this too. If you early on in your journey, don't be scared to sacrifice that family time, because I did that. You know what I mean? Like, they with us now, right? They with me
Yeah.
now. And I say us sometimes because I be thinking about my wife, but
Yeah.
the kids are with me now. But it's like, there was a time when we had to clean all these buildings, and me and my wife, we leave and go out all night long. The kids are with the grandma, with their aunt, or they went to the other aunt. You know what I mean? And it's like, we ain't seeing. We saw our kids less than our family members did, right? But they were younger. Luckily for me, we did that when they were probably both of them were at least 4 or younger, right? Maybe 5 or younger, right? So it's like, now they barely remember it, you know what I mean? And it's like they living a life that's completely different than that one now. But it took for me to sacrifice that. And then also, not just with the kids, with the spouse. It'll be some times when we go bump heads, right? And it's like, all right, well, she didn't come to clean the building today. Well, shit, I guess I gotta go. It's gonna take me
Right.
twice as long, but I gotta go. You know what I mean? And it's gonna get done. And so, but the bottom line is, it's just, you gotta, if you're the entrepreneur, you gotta be the one to just stay focused on the goal and realize. I think Steve Harvey was the one that said, like, your vision was your vision, like God gave it to you for a reason. You know what I mean? So it's like, every time everybody ain't gonna see it that
That's right.
way, But it's like you still gotta stay focused and keep everybody together as the leader of the whole situation. You know what I mean? And over time, it'll work itself out. But it's on you. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot to carry. But if you want it bad enough, you'll be able to fight through and carry that on your back. You know what I mean?
No, I love what you just said. We my wife and I, we have a financial business outside of our other business. And we tell people all the time, listen, do you want the 40-15 plan, or you want the 5-50 plan? The 5-50 is you're gonna work hard, but you got 50 years of freedom. Or do you want to be working for somebody else with they thumb over you for 40 years and only enjoy them little 5, 10, 15 years of retirement? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love what you just said. That was incredible what you said, right? Because listen, you're trying to get into business. First of all, it's hard. It ain't easy. You know what I mean? And there's gonna be some long nights. When I first started, I worked harder and I used to work my butt off and when I had a job, but I worked way harder when I first started my business than I ever did. Because it was long hours, but and it over time it pays off. But I love what you just said there.
Appreciate that,
man. And I think what y'all saying, the connection to that is, because I was just going to ask you, AJ, and Social, you probably all three of us can answer this. But when AJ, you said earlier about you want to get to a point where your company have grown, and then you can tell your customers, hey, listen. My staff, everybody, I don't know, had COVID. So the building is not going to get service tonight. We'll make it up. We'll give you a credit. And then, there was the point that, you had to do all the cleaning. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said. So the connection is that in between, like, how do you get from that having to do all the cleaning to saying, we're just going to give you a credit, or it just may not get cleaned tonight because, my staff is sick, or, whatever may have happened, that's a time span that I don't think happens overnight, and the mentality has to change. So how did you make that transition from, it got to get done, I'm going to do all the cleaning because it got to get done, to, hey, ma'am, I'm sorry, but we just won't be able to clean tonight. We'll make it up, and we'll give you credit.
Right. So it's not a overnight decision. You're right. That's something that you got to grow into. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to say how I can word this. So when it happened, it was an overnight decision, like the action. Mm-hmm. But the mindset to get there wasn't overnight. It took me years of cleaning. Even though I knew better, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I knew about the cash flow
theory, and all
that. You know what I mean? I knew I needed to be in the business quadrant, but it was like, well, how? My customer's gonna be pissed if I don't go out there, right? And I'm like, but you know what it was? For one, I always tell people, like, try to go into it from the beginning thinking system. And it's like, yes, you want to get your hands dirty and clean a little bit, but once you clean this building enough time, but you got it down pat, put somebody in it. The mistake I made, and the mistake most people make, is they get in there and depend on the money. So it's like you're making what, $7,000 a month cleaning all these buildings, and it's like, all right, well, if you hire somebody for every building, that $7,000 gonna turn into what, maybe 3, 32, somewhere around that 35. So it's like, damn. But my business was based around, but my bills are now based around me making 7. Right. And that was the problem. And I always tell, that's why I tell people, don't go in there trying to clean it all and build it that way, because you're gonna get too used to the money, and now you're stuck out there.
Yep. So you burn yourself out.
And you're gonna burn yourself out. And I did. That's why it's so hard. Like, that's because a lot of people might wonder, well, AJ, why you don't got to clean the company anymore? Because it's like, but it's because honestly, I'm burnt out. Like, I did that shit for so long. I don't know what I mean. But so this is what I did, though, to get from that position, knowing better and not doing. But this is what I did. I got to get his credit. I hate to do it because I don't know this guy at all. But I'm gonna give him the credit. It's a podcast I was listening to, and he was kind of like my competitor at the time. Now I don't even pay his ass no mind. But the guy named his name is Grow My Cleaning Company. That podcast.
Grow My, I know that podcast. Yeah, so I know that. Yeah, Grow My Cleaning Company. Yeah.
So I was listening to that podcast one time, cleaning the building, and he said, just make the decision. Pick a day, one day this year. Say on March 30th of 2022 or 2023, I'm never cleaning again, no matter what. I don't care what happens. And I was like, damn, that's it. Just set a date. He was like, no matter what, you know what I mean? Never turn around, put like schedule who's on to clean what building, all your different workers, put them in place, set the date, and never look back. I did that shit and never look back. And guess what else happened after I did that? I lost my Range Rover. I lost my Cadillac. They got repoed, right? All my personal loans went into default. Every bills didn't get paid. The rent got paid. The lights got paid. Cell phone had to get paid because of business.
Right.
We went in, and that's it. We went instead of a Range Rover, we drive a Toyota now. We shared that until we go get a paid for GMC Jimmy. You know what I mean? That's the work truck, and that's it. And you go to the basics. And because the income then cut now, all right? It's a cut in half.
That's right.
And I had to believe myself enough that, you know, I can get those things back later.
Yeah.
Temporary sacrifice. This ain't even no brand new Range Rover anyway. We can get it back when we can, right? You know what I mean? It might take a few years, but we can get it. You know what I mean? And that was the mindset I had to have. And also, what made it even 10 times harder for me was I was on YouTube at that time when I did that. And so every day I'm feeling like shit, man. Somebody gonna call me out and you know, try to expose me and say, oh, his cars got repoed or you know what I mean? Because people are trying to come on you.
I got
you out here learning with y'all. I told you I'm teaching you as I go, right? Like
right. Hey, this is real. It's authentic over here.
That's the disclaimer.
Right.
Real talk, man.
Because it is what it is, right? I ain't no I don't come from money. You know what I mean? I make it up as I go, just like y'all. So, and but anyway, but that was what I had to do. I just simply made the decision, and it got ugly after I made that decision. And that's why also too, it was good that I did take the job at Jan Pro, because once I took that job, it was like, okay, now I got some money again. The business was still there, but since it was, you know, paying me half of what it used to pay, it wasn't quite enough. So now I got that job down in Florida. It was paying me well enough.
Gotta make the difference up.
See what I'm saying? And there you go. So, but that if you're stuck in the field and you can't figure out how to make that transition, set that date, start getting you a nest egg now, do what you gotta do. Prepare to ride share on the side. I definitely used to Uber too. I forgot about that. So I will Uber, Lyft, all that.
Whatever you had to do to make that bill, but you was determined that you wasn't going back to work. So whatever I got to do, I ain't going back to work. I'm not, and ain't nobody. I'm definitely not going to work for nobody.
There you go.
Right. Man, that's
it also makes me think of what Sosa always says, man. Like when people try to make the transition from a 9 to 5 into business, he always says that there are steps. So it's like first you're going to be self-employed, and then you're going to like that's almost like you just creating a job for yourself, and then you're going to go to progress to a business owner, and then ultimately you want to go into an entrepreneur. Like, when you just step into the field, that's like an entrepreneur is like, man, put me anywhere on God's green earth, man, I'm gonna triple my worth. You know what I mean? That's the entrepreneur zone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So so if you have any I'm
just gonna be honest with you. I had some questions, but man, you honestly, AJ, you are, to your credit, right? You was a real interesting brother. Like, to be honest with you, I've been asking you questions just because I'm myself is interested in what you're saying and how you're saying it. And you know what I mean? Like, your story is dope. The way you're carrying yourself is dope. So I've been kind of asking questions as I've been going, because like, every time you say something, like, you spark an interest in what I want to know, or something, some of the questions I've asked is questions I personally wanted to know.
That's what's up.
But just real quick, I'll just ask like one or two questions. What is, for the sake of time, your team now? Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So you say you no longer had the cleaning business, right? So in the cleaning industry, so now your income is derived mainly, or if not all, from the Clean Biz Network.
100%, bro. So I got a video out there, right, that talk about how I became a millionaire, and because I own 2 properties, but that ain't it's this Clean Biz Network is what makes me that. but not because it pays me so many millions a year. It's because of what it can sell for. Because
it gave you
you see what I'm
worth with the
saying?
properties. Now with the properties, with this, now you got some worth out here. You
There
know,
you go.
you're walking money right here.
There you go. So definitely for sure. And people always talk about multiple sources of income. I believe in that, but not which people think. You know where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
If you listen to what I said earlier, I said we have lead generation service, starter kit. Starter kit is e-commerce. Lead generation, that's his thing, telemarketing. The mobile app, that's software as a service. What else? Courses, right? And that's zero overhead on those. So it's like all these different streams, YouTube revenue, all these different streams are still just one company. So I always tell people that you want to lock in on one company, pick one company, then get you some real estate, get you some stocks on the side. But if one company is what's going to get you rich, then the little passive stuff, the real estate and the stock, that's what keep you wealthy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you ain't going to get, like you was talking about earlier about the timeline with the job and they work for 60 years, right? Or would you rather go ahead and grind out this business for 10 years, right? 5, 10 years, whatever. You know what I mean? And get rich quick. 10 years is quick, y'all.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Versus the 60 if you're gonna work for somebody else. So it's like so anyway, but yeah, to answer that question, yes, Clean Biz Network is everything. That pays all the bills. You know what I mean?
No, I agree because people say it all the time, especially young folks. Oh man, I got multiple streams of income. I got this. Okay, but how much money you really got? Oh, I don't got no money. Listen, then what are you doing? Listen, you got to pick one income. Like, yeah. And then, people have asked me, well, you have a cleaning business, you have a financial income. I said, yeah, but cleaning business is my bread and butter. This is what made me the money. I'm starting a financial business because just like AJ, I want to help people. I'm dedicated to helping people, but also I can't, if I had to work but the only reason I could do two businesses because I could stream one of them. You can have another business, but you better be able to stream it. If you're going to be sitting there working and doing everything, then no, you can't have two businesses and expect to be successful. You can't slave two masters. You know what I mean?
Yes, right.
But you can put two things in place and have a system in place and have two things going for you. You could do that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But there's a difference, and I think that's where a lot of people get jammed up with.
I agree 100%. So you got the systems in place.
Yeah.
Hey man, so all the members of the Entrepreneur Chamber, man, all our viewing audience, our constituents, y'all hearing it directly, man, from these two brothers. Man, they dropping some valuable information and providing some valuable information. So definitely, man, pay attention. So any other questions that you had there, Sos?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it down because listen, I'll be honest with you, man. Listen, AJ, I can talk to AJ all
day. Without no written questions, right?
I can talk to AJ for hours. But for the sake of time,
bro.
Yeah, he's a businessman, and you listen, man. We all know the time is valuable. I'm gonna go to our last question. This is a question we ask all our guests here, AJ, and this is like the fun. This is kind of to break up the monotony. We done got the jewels. Now we kind of go to a little fun, and that's our final segment. The last question is, so we usually ask for a top 5. We usually got, you can pick the category, but music, film, sports, or you can pick your own category.
Bet. I gotta go rappers, right? That's the most competitive argument for the top 5, right?
That's our personal favorite. That's my personal favorite.
Right.
And speaking for IJUST, I already know that's his favorite. So, all right. So what's your top 5 rappers, brother? What's your top 5 MCs?
All time or right now?
Hey, whatever you want to make it, a combination of both it could be. You know what I mean?
Right.
One or the other. You know.
Yeah, one or the other. You can give us both, whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna try to do all the time. I really, it changed every time too.
Yeah.
First, I'm going Tupac.
Nice. I can't argue there.
Second, I'm going Nas.
Nice.
Third, I'm going Jada.
Nice.
And then fourth, I'm going, this is what I used to say, right? So then fourth and fifth, I do Big and J as a tie. And those were in order.
I got you.
I gotta mention these honorable mentions though, because I like punchline rappers. Punchline bar for bar. Shout out to Cassidy, shout out to Fab, you know what I mean?
Nice.
That's right, man.
Myself. AJ Simmons can wrap circles around a lot of these rappers.
Okay.
Hey, you know what, AJ, real quick. So knew that was you rapping on the intro to your videos. Is that
yes, sir.
I said, yo, I know that's AJ rapping on the intro to this. Oh man, that's dope. It is fire, bro. It is fire.
Appreciate that one.
Yeah. That is dope. Well, listen, man. So that's it. So that's your top 5. You gave us a couple honorable mentions in there too.
Yep.
Right. Well, that's dope. Well, listen, man. I mean, wow. I mean, this has been an incredible episode, man. We spoke to this brother AJ Simmons. Y'all heard it. The Clean Biz Network. AJ's dropped some jewels. AJ told us he's introvert. I mean, I can't tell that he's introvert, but he did say it. He did say it, so I'm gonna take his word for it. He did say he's authentic, so I'm gonna take his word for it. But I love a lot what he said, because he not, we talked, we had a clean discussion. We're all, us three are all cleaning owners. But what I love about this conversation was, man, this was an entrepreneurial conversation. This was a conversation that man, if you can't get with people in your circle to have these type of conversations, I'm going to encourage you to go find another circle, because those are great, and your friends are always going to be your friends, but you got to get around people like this. You got to get around, if you're trying to grow it. Now, if you're not, then cool, stay where you at. But if you're trying to grow, you're trying to go somewhere, you got to go seek out and find people like AJ. And AJ's easy to find, because all you got to do is tap into the Clean Biz Network. So for my personal, just speaking for myself, I want to say thank you for your time here, man. I learned some things, and I'm real appreciative of this time that we've had with you today.
Appreciate you, brother Sosa. Appreciate you. IJUST. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, man. And I'm just going to share his sentiment, man. I really appreciate you taking out the time, AJ, coming on to our platform, man. We up now to episode number 15 on this podcast, man. So thank you for coming through and blessing episode 15. I'm gonna just say, man, what I got out of this interview and speaking with you today, it's not even an interview, man. It was more like a build, just building with a brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And what I got out of it, man, is the one door leads to another door, and every successful person, man, has that journey, and every journey is unique. But one thing that we all have in common in our journey is the peaks and the valleys, but the perseverance to see it through, man. And you just another person that, come on and you're genuine about helping people, specifically people that are of, which one of our guests put it this way, AJ, he was like BIPOC, man. That's Black, Hispanics, and people of color, man. You know what I'm saying? And in this struggle that we all on, man. And we all warriors and soldiers in it, man. And, so I tip my hat off to you, man. You're doing great work, man. You a young brother out here, man. And, you certainly are showing people that there are alternatives to making yourself and getting yourself out of poverty, man. So I salute you, brother. Thank you for coming on. And at this point, man, I'm gonna just encourage everybody to go to www.cleanbiznetwork.com. And, if you want to get a starter kit, you want to know how to use and build your customers, certainly check Mr. AJ Simmons out. So AJ, you want to hit the people with your closing remarks?
I mean, only thing I really got is if there's anybody in y'all group right now that ain't already took that starting in entrepreneurship, just do it. If us three can do it, y'all can do it. As you can see, we regular people just like y'all, man. Take that jump. Y'all in the Entrepreneur Chamber on the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. So make sure y'all take some action. Shout out to IJUST, AJ Simmons, y'all. www.cleanbiznetwork.com. Thank y'all.
Man, that's dope. There you have it. All our members, all our constituents, all our listeners. Mr. AJ Simmons was an excellent guest. As always, we like to close it out. And, we always like to say, help empower us so we can help empower you.
Peace all and be victorious.